Good day, grade 10 learners, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video lesson, I will be discussing about the root of a polynomial equation and the zero of a polynomial function. So I have here two mathematical concepts that we need to understand. The first one is if a number n is a solution of a polynomial equation, p of x equals to 0, then n is called a root of the equation. While if a number n makes a polynomial function p of x 0, then it is substituted for x, then n is called a 0 of the function. So what does this mean? So let's have an example. So determine whether the given numbers are roots of the polynomial equation p of x equals to 0, where p of x equals to x cubed minus x squared minus 100. So based dito sa ating mathematical concept, malinaw na kapag daw sinubstitute natin yung values at lumabas na p of x ay 0, therefore that given number is a root. Otherwise, it is not a root. So let me say we have here a equals to negative 2. So alamin natin kung itong negative 2 ba ay root nitong x cubed minus x squared minus 100. So what we are going to do is we just substitute the values of x as negative 2. So we have here x cubed minus x squared minus 100. Then we have here negative 2 cubed minus negative 2 squared minus 100. Then, negative 2 cubed, so we need to multiply negative 2 by itself 3 times. So we have negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Times negative 2, we have negative 8. Minus, then negative 2 squared. So negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Minus 100. And then, it must be equal to 0, right? Para masabi natin na siya ay root or hindi. So therefore, negative 8 minus 4 minus 100, so we just then copy the sign, which is negative. So 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 100 is 112. So we have here negative 112. And then negative 112, of course, not equal to 0. So therefore, upon substituting yung ating value ng x na negative 2, ang lumabas ay negative 112. So we can say that, hence, lagyan natin ng generalization, hence, negative 2 is not a root. Okay, so how about if our value of x is 5? So for our next example, we're going to use the same polynomial equation, but by this time, alamin natin kung yung 5 ba ay root or hindi. So we will do the same process. So we have here x cubed minus x squared minus 100, and it should be equal to 0. Then we have here 5 cubed minus 5 squared minus 100 equals to 0. And then simplifying, so 5 cubed. So 5 times 5 is 25 times 5 is 125. Minus 5 squared is 25 minus 100 equals to 0. Then 125 minus 25 is 100. Minus 100 is 0 equals to 0. So upon substituting 5 for x yields a true equation. So ang lumabas dito ay true true equation. So hence, we can say that 5 is a root. So that's it. So masasabi nyo kung ang given number ay root or hindi upon substituting kapag ang lumabas ay true equation, so therefore it is a root. So otherwise, kapag false equation ng lumabas, that is not a root. Okay, for our next example, we are going to determine whether the given numbers are zero. So this time, we are going to apply the second mathematical concept that we have. So upon substituting the given number, so malalaman natin siya na ang tawag doon ay zero of that given polynomial function if it is a true equation. So wherein kapag sinubstitute natin yung given numbers, dapat ang lalabas ay zero, and that is a true equation. So meaning that number is a zero of that given polynomial function. So otherwise, it is not a zero. So wherein the polynomial function p of x, where p of x is given by this one. So this will be our polynomial function, x cubed minus 3x squared plus x minus 3 equals to 0, wherein ang ating x ay negative 3. So we just substitute yung values ng x, which is yung negative 3. So we have here x cubed minus 3x squared plus x minus 3 equals to 0. So, palitan lang natin lahat ng x ng negative 3. So, you have here negative 3 cubed minus 3 times negative 3 squared plus your x is negative 3 minus 3 equals to 0. And then, you have negative 3 cubed. So, negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Times negative 3 is negative 27. Again, you are going to multiply negative 3 by itself 3 times. Then we have here, dito na tayo sa exponent. So, negative 3 squared is positive 9. Again, negative 3 squared is positive 9 times negative 3 is negative 27 minus 3. Positive times negative is negative. Then minus 3 equals to 0. And then, since all are negative, so add lang natin, then negative yung magiging sign. So, 27 plus 27 plus 3, then plus 3 is equal to negative 60. Again, 27 plus 27 is 54, negative 54, and then negative 54 minus 3 is negative 57. Then negative 57 minus 3 is negative 60 equals to 0. So that is false. So hence, negative 3 is not 0 of the function. So how about negative I? So I know yung iba sa inyo ay hindi familiar sa negative I. So I stands for imaginary. So, that's the time na nagkakaroon tayo ng imaginary kapag kumukuha tayo ng square root wherein yung number sa loob ng radical sign ay negative. Remember, square root of negative 1 is equals to I. Thus, I squared equals to negative 1. Okay? So, we just substitute negative I to our polynomial function x cubed minus 3x squared plus x minus 3 equals to 0. So we have here negative I cubed minus 3 times negative I squared plus negative I minus 3 equals to 0. And then we have here negative I cube. So negative I cube is I minus 3. Then negative I squared is negative 1 minus I minus 3 equals to 0. Then after that, I negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3 minus I minus 3 equals to 0. So this is equal to 1 and 3 minus 3 is 0. So therefore that is true equation. Hence, negative I is a 0 of the function. So that's all for today about the root and 0 of the given polynomial equation and polynomial function. So I hope that you learned something today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with our YouTube channel, and see you on our next video lesson.